In the studio with us, Margie Bailly, who's been a proud member of the Kiwanis Club here in Fargo for how many years now?
Oh, wow. They finally admitted women in 1987.
Okay.
So I sneaked in, I think, about 1989.
Oh, good for you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And look, they really didn't kick off things until you joined that club. So good for you. Good for you and all the women
Don't
who
tell
joined.
them that, though.
I think, Amy's right. We set our calendars a little bit to the Kiwanis Pancake Carnival every single year. And if you are someone who's been going for decades, you know the evolution is that it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is absolutely amazing. I thought right after COVID, we were out for 2 years. And when we came back, it was like a community celebration. And I had literally forgotten what a celebratory event it is. And I started talking to people who were there, and, there were generations of people there. And I talked to a young woman who had her child with her, and she had been going to the Kiwanis Pancake Day since she was very little, since she was her daughter's age. And it is an amazing gathering of our community, and it talks about who we are and how we can get together as a community and come and eat pancakes. And then that helps our community all year long, because the money that we raise goes directly to all kinds of programming that impact the lives of children and families throughout the community. And it is a gift that Kiwanis can give. But most importantly of all, it's a collaborative effort by the community.
And let's speak about the community for a minute, because it doesn't take just Kiwanis to put on an entire day of people eating pancakes. I walk in there, I see members of scout troops who are helping up clean tables. I see other community volunteers. It really takes the entire village to make it happen.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, JJ. It absolutely does. So a lot of the volunteers come from the organizations that we have provided funding for. But then it just comes from people who sign up on our website and say, I want to be a part of this. This is something that I have been a part of since I was a child. I want to be a part of it, and I want to flip. But, flipping is that's a competitive kind of thing. To get to be a flipper is, yeah.
I engage everyone to look at the flipping this year while you're in line, because you will see people who are dedicated, who, there's space there. Let's keep moving. It is such a well-oiled machine, but you definitely don't, you don't want to see anyone throwing away a burnt cake. That's not going to happen, because these are pros who've been doing it for so many years. They know how to do it.
Exactly. I remember when right after Dick and I were married, he wanted pancakes, and so I was going to fix pancakes. I had never made pancakes before. So I am struggling, and finally he said, look, I'll just try it. He gets up and he starts flipping pancakes, and he's making letters out of them and characters, and good grief.
Well, and he's been destined to do it. And I've seen him working,
the
griddles many, many years. Let's talk about the fact that we're getting together. It's for community. It's a great fundraiser, but also you're honoring some people in the community as well for the hard work that they've done.
We are, absolutely. In 2013, we started a project called the Fargo Kiwanis Community Champion for Kids, and we've had this many years of some really wonderful people who have been the award recipients. This year,
if you look at that list, starting with Nancy Jordheim,
know.
Kids don't know how big of a deal that she was, but the scheduling and things that happen. Yeah. I noticed Ed Hutlin is on this thing.
Yeah.
You've awarded some people who never asked for acclaim, and you gave it to them.
Exactly.
And I think that is fantastic.
That is absolutely, thank you, JJ. Yes, that is absolutely what we're attempting to do, because there's so many people out there who are doing this under the radar screen. They're not doing it for any kind of self-aggrandizement at all, period, the end. Ed Hutlin is one. Welcome to a world filled with beautiful music.
Mm-hmm.
He is absolutely the epitome of somebody who has impacted so many lives. So
Dr. Hutlin used to grab kids out of the hall and be like, you belong in band.
Exactly.
They go like, me? No, that's not it. And be like, I'm telling you, you belong in band. And before you know it, those bands were bursting at the seams.
Exactly. He did exactly that. And you had a great jazz band at South High as well. Yes.
Our Fargo Public Schools musicians are very lucky. Not only do they have amazing teachers, but they've got administration who's behind them. And that really comes from people like Ed Hutland
Absolutely.
building up those programs
Absolutely.
for decades.
Yes, exactly. Brian Cole in Moorhead.
Yes.
You know, I call him Mr. Mr. Holland, Mr. Holland's opus. You know, I mean, he is just irrepressible and absolutely committed to making sure that everybody can get involved in music in some way, shape, or form.
And then he makes that Once a Spud, Always a Spud book with that group of people who volunteered together. And you're
Incredible.
like, is there nothing you can't do?
Exactly. So this year, our nominees are Melissa Sobolek and the, Great Plains Food Bank. I mean, good grief. Talk about an impact. Absolutely extraordinary. And Melissa herself has been involved, obviously, as a commissioner. She's been involved at the Plains Museum. She is an extraordinary example of what someone can do if they just really care, they're really authentic, and they have great leadership skills. And wow, she epitomizes that. Just really incredible.
And let's be honest, her time at the Great Plains Food Bank has not been easy.
Oh,
you
my
know,
gosh.
they saw the most growth and need that they've ever seen and handled it with flying colors.
Exactly. Yeah, she is really, I am excited about presenting this award to her. The other recipient, the organizational recipient, is the Fill the Dome project.
Oh,
And,
great.
You know, we selected that for a lot of reasons, obviously, but because of the student leadership in that. And Kiwanis is all about, developing leaders for the next generation. You know, when I'm in the nursing home, I want some
You want someone good at
really
the helm,
well-trained
right?
people taking care of me. And these young leaders are really extraordinary. And they have every year increased the capacity of that project. And, can you imagine fill the dome with little canned good things? So it has really, really worked, and it has impacted so many lives at this point in time, and it's impacted the lives of the volunteers. And so I'm excited about telling the stories of the couple of these volunteer student leaders to see how it did impact and does impact their lives. So
I could barely get my biology homework done when I was in high school.
I
And look at what these
know.
kids are doing today. They understand food insecurity. They understand that it affects not just people in our community, but outside of our community as well. It could be a neighbor. And every year, it's astounding to see it. And how much fun they have putting the whole project together.
Exactly. It's joyful. It's a team effort. They really are extraordinary. And these are the leaders of the future. They really are. And from a Kiwanis perspective, they're Kiwanians of the future too. So,
There you go.
I mean, it's a little bit self-serving, but it really is important to recognize people like this who are doing things. They're just doing it because they believe in it. It's a cause that's in their heart. They believe in the greater good. We need that kind of a concept, that kind of authenticity now more than ever before.
So if I am coming, and we're talking about this Saturday.
Yes, we
So
are. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Skip dinner on Friday. We're talking about this Saturday. There's a formal presentation, so if I want to time my pancake
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
And we also have some music. I've tried to get, young performers. And we have a Steinway. No, it's not a Steinway, but it's a grand piano, 5-foot grand, that's been donated by Schmidt Music, and the Magic Movers are moving it. So that will be center stage at the Dome. And we have everything from Ella Rude, who's going to be performing at 12 noon.
She's very
fabulous.
talented.
Yes, exactly. And then we have a young, I call him a savant, pianist. He is a 9-year-old who's going to be playing at 10 o'clock. We have Tyler, he's been there several years, and he's going to be playing at 9 o'clock. And so, again, we're celebrating young musicians, and that's important to me, and just making certain that we're building that capacity for the future. So it's a day full of all kinds of things, and eating pancakes like never before. There's a seconds line. You can come as many times as you want to.
And
we will not cut you off.
Best way to get tickets at this point?
At this point, you can buy them from a Kiwanian. So grab a Kiwanian if you happen to know one. And then they're also available at Hornbacher's, any Hornbacher's, and they're also available at Wimmer's Jewelry And, just look around because there are Kiwanians everywhere. And Hornbachers is probably the simplest place to get them. And, they're very inexpensive. They're $10 and all the pancakes you can eat. And you can buy a booklet for $200. That'll be 20 tickets. And it's just come and celebrate your community and just, experience joy and camaraderie, as we say in Kiwanis. Yeah.
Amy and I noted that in 2024, one of the food trends that we're going to see is buckwheat. And so the Kiwanis have been way ahead of the game on that with those buckwheat pancakes.
No kidding. My husband always insists on flipping buckwheats. And I, quite frankly, I'll say this on the air, I'm not really a buckwheat fan, but I have a lot of respect. Sounds like it's more for me,
but Margie.
Yeah.
Margie Bailly, absolutely one of the people who's changed our community for the better over many, many years, and no slowing down yet. We're talking about the Kiwanis Pancake Carnival this Saturday up at the Fargodome. Just follow the smell of butter and syrup, and you'll find it.
7 a.m. 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. Just come there, celebrate who you are, who we are, and listen to great music, eat great pancakes, and celebrate yourselves and your community.
Thanks for stopping in, Margie. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.